The Silent Watchers. First Officer Zrixtal struggled to maintain composure as her sensor array lit up with impossible readings. The Galactic survey vessel Eternal Seeker had been charting the supposedly empty Sector 873 when their quantum scanners detected something that shouldn't exist. A vast network of cloaked installations spanning multiple star systems. "Admiral Venthor," she called, her crystalline appendages vibrating with tension. "You need to see this immediately." The Admiral's heavy footsteps echoed through the bridge as he approached, his scaled hide reflecting the soft blue light of the ship's control panels. "This had better be significant, First Officer. We're behind schedule on our mapping mission." "Sir, look at these energy signatures." Zrixtal manipulated the holographic display, revealing layers of carefully hidden monitoring stations, defense platforms, and what appeared to be massive shield generators. "They're human in origin." Admiral Venthor's primary eyes widened while his secondary set narrowed to focus on the data. Impossible. The humans withdrew from galactic affairs centuries ago. They sealed their borders and rejected all diplomatic contact. Yet here they are, sir. And these installations, they're protecting something. Before the Admiral could respond, a new signal cut through their communications array. "Galactic survey vessel. This is Commander Kira Patil of the Earth Defense Initiative. You've entered a restricted zone. Please maintain your current position." The holographic communication window materialized, revealing a dark-skinned human female with silver-streaked black hair and eyes that seemed to hold the weight of centuries. Her uniform bore no rank insignia, no decorations, just a simple emblem of Earth surrounded by stars. "This is Admiral Venthor of the Galactic Survey Corps. Commander Patil, you have no authority to restrict movement in neutral space under the Galactic Concordat. The Concordat also has provisions for the protection of developing species." "Admiral." Patil's voice remained steady, but there was steel beneath her words. "Would you like to know what we're protecting here?" Before anyone could respond, a massive vessel decloaked alongside the Eternal Seeker. It dwarfed their survey ship, its hull decorated with the same simple Earth emblem. Yet despite its size, their sensors hadn't detected its approach. "Permission to come aboard, Admiral?" Patil asked, though it wasn't really a question. 20 minutes later, Commander Patil stood in the Eternal Seeker's observation deck, her reflection ghosting against the backdrop of stars. "What you've discovered today is one of humanity's guardian zones. There are 47 others scattered throughout the galaxy." "Guardian zones?" Zrixtal couldn't contain her curiosity. "What are you guarding?" Patil activated the small device, and the observation window transformed into a vast display. Below them, previously hidden by sophisticated cloaking technology, a beautiful green and blue world spun serenely. Cities dotted its surface, and satellites, primitive by galactic standards, orbited overhead. "The Threll," Patil explained. "They achieved spaceflight 50 years ago. They're on the verge of discovering faster than light travel. And when they do, they'll face a galaxy full of wonders and terrors. Our job is to ensure they survive long enough to make that choice for themselves." Admiral Venthor's scales rippled with disbelief. "You're saying humanity withdrew from galactic society to become protectors?" "We remembered our own history," Patil said, her eyes never leaving the planet below. "How close we came to destruction, how many times we nearly wiped ourselves out. When we joined the galactic community, we discovered the remnants of countless civilizations that didn't make it, wiped out by cosmic disasters, hostile species, or their own technology." She turned to face them. "We decided then that we had a choice. We could join the galactic community as traitors, diplomats, another voice in the endless council debates, or we could become something else, something necessary. But the resources required." Zrixtal began calculating in her head. "The personnel, the technology, everything we have," Patil confirmed. "Every scientific breakthrough, every technological advancement, all of it dedicated to one purpose: protecting those who cannot yet protect themselves." A new alert flashed across the ship's systems. Zrixtal rushed to her station, her crystalline appendages trembling as she interpreted the data. "Admiral, massive gravitational anomaly detected at the edge of the system. It's like nothing I've ever seen." Patel was already moving, her hand pressed to her communication device. "This is Commander Patel. Initiative Code Black. I repeat, Code Black. All Guardian vessels activate and prepare for deployment." The space around them came alive as ships began decloaking. Dozens, then hundreds of them. A defensive grid that had been invisible moments before hummed to life, energy patterns rippling between installations that spanned the entire star system. "Now," Patel said, her voice carrying the weight of centuries of preparation, "you're about to see why humanity chose to become the silent guardians of the galaxy." The awakening storm. The gravitational anomaly grew larger on the Eternal Seeker's display, a writhing mass of distorted space-time that seemed to devour light itself. First Officers Rickstall had never seen anything like it. Physics itself seemed to break down at its edges. "What is that thing?" Admiral Venthor demanded, all four eyes fixed on the horrifying spectacle. "We call it a reality storm," Commander Patel replied, her fingers dancing across a holographic interface that had materialized around her. "A quantum-level disturbance that breaks down the barriers between dimensions. We've encountered 3 others in the past century. This one is the largest we've ever seen." The bridge of the Eternal Seeker transformed as Patel's interface expanded, filling the space with tactical displays and status readouts. Human ships moved with practiced precision, taking up defensive positions around the Threll homeworld. "Quantum shield generators online," a voice announced through the command network. "Solar tap stations activating. Power flow at 60% and rising." Lieutenant Commander Raj Sharma's face appeared in a holographic window. His dark eyes showed no fear, only focused determination. "Guardian fleet positions locked, Commander. The adamant and defiant battle groups are in position. Stellar shield arrays are responding." "This is why we're here," Patel addressed both her crews and the stunned alien observers. "This is what humanity has been preparing for since we left the galactic stage. Everything we've built, every technology we've developed, it's all been for moments like this." The reality storm accelerated, its leading edge now visible to the naked eye. A curtain of twisted space that bent light into impossible colors. Zrickstall's scientific mind struggled to process what she was seeing as her instruments recorded energy readings that shouldn't exist in normal space. "Commander," Raj's voice carried an edge of urgency, storm front approaching faster than projected. "Impact in 40 minutes. Initiate Protocol Omega," Patel ordered. "Deploy the resonance barriers. Lieutenant Commander, begin power transfer from the solar tap stations." The space around the Threll homeworld transformed as massive structures emerged from their cloaked states, vast arrays of technology that dwarfed anything in the known galaxy. Energy began to flow between them, forming a lattice of pure power that enclosed the entire star system. By the first light, Admiral Venthor whispered, his scales shifting colors in awe. "The resources required to build all this, you've been preparing for centuries." "Since the day we found the first ruins," Patel confirmed, her eyes never leaving the tactical display. "A civilization wiped out by a reality storm half this size. We swore it would never happen again, not to anyone we could protect." Alarms blared across every ship as the storm's gravitational effects intensified. "Shield harmonics destabilizing in sectors 7 through 12, Raj reported. "Compensating with auxiliary power." "Commander," Zrickstall interrupted, her crystalline form vibrating with distress as she analyzed the incoming data. "The storm, it's not just a natural phenomenon. These energy patterns, they're ordered. There's intelligence behind this." Patel's expression hardened. "We suspected as much. Show me." The main display shifted, revealing complex patterns within the chaos of the storm. Mathematics that shouldn't exist, rhythms that suggested purpose rather than random destruction. "All Guardian vessels," Patel's voice carried across the command network. "This is no longer just a defensive operation. Initialize the quantum resonance arrays. Prepare for first contact protocols. First contact. Admiral Venthor's secondary eyes blinked in confusion. With what? With whatever's hiding inside that storm, Patel replied grimly. Lieutenant Commander Sharma, bring the Prometheus device online. If there's something in there trying to communicate, we're going to answer. The massive shape of humanity's flagship, the Star Guardian, decloaked directly ahead of the storm front. Its hull bristled with technology that made even the most advanced galactic survey ships look primitive by comparison. At its heart, something began to pulse with a light that seemed to bend reality itself. All crews, this is Commander Patel. In 20 minutes, that storm will hit our defensive line. In 30 minutes, it will reach the Threll homeworld unless we stop it. This is what we've trained for. This is why humanity chose to become guardians. She turned to Admiral Venthor and First Officers Rickstall. You wanted to know why we withdrew from galactic society. Watch closely. You're about to find out exactly what humanity has become. The Prometheus device powered up, its energy signature matching the strange rhythms within the storm. As reality itself began to twist around them, Patel's voice carried a note of fierce determination. Let's introduce ourselves to whatever's trying to break into our universe. The battle for the Threll homeworld, and perhaps the nature of reality itself, was about to begin. Warriors of the Void. The Prometheus device pulsed with impossible light, sending waves of quantum energy into the approaching reality storm. Lieutenant Commander Raj Sharma's voice crackled through the command network, steady despite the chaos unfolding around them. Quantum resonance patterns established. Commander, we're getting something back. First Officers Rickstall watched in fascination as new data streams appeared across her console. The patterns within the storm were responding, shifting and changing in ways that defied conventional physics. It's like a language, she whispered, her crystalline form vibrating in harmony with the strange energies. Not like a language, Commander Patel corrected, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. It is a language. The mathematics of reality itself. She turned to her communications officer. Initialize the translation matrices. Let's hear what they're saying. The bridge of the Star Guardian filled with a sound that wasn't quite sound, a resonance that seemed to bypass the ears and speak directly to the mind. Admiral Venthor's scales rippled in discomfort as the alien communication took shape. See he is in darkness. Find huan soon evolve. Share your reality. They're called the Void Dancers, Patel explained, her voice tight with controlled tension. We've encountered them twice before. They don't mean to destroy. They're explorers in their own way. But their method of exploration involves breaking down the barriers between realities. And that process destroys everything in its path, Raj added grimly. Commander, storm front approaching critical threshold. We need to make a decision. Patel's hands moved across her interface, initiating sequences that had been prepared decades in advance. Send the response package. Show them what happened the last time they explored an inhabited system. The Prometheus device pulsed again, this time projecting images into the storm itself. The ruins of ancient civilizations, worlds stripped of life by reality distortions, the mathematical proof of destruction that followed in the Void Dancer's wake. Understanding. Grafto infusion. Purpose is exploration. Alternative unknown. Now, Patel commanded. Show them the second package. New information flowed into the storm. Diagrams of quantum stabilization fields, blueprints for reality anchors, mathematical formulas that described ways to explore without destroying. Humanity's gift to beings that had never meant to be destroyers. The reality storm's advance slowed, its chaotic energies beginning to stabilize. Gratitude, wonder, puosa ability. Teach us your way. That's why we withdrew, Patel told her alien guests, pride evident in her voice. not just to protect developing civilizations from physical threats, but to understand and communicate with beings that operate on entirely different levels of reality. The galaxy needed guardians who could bridge the gap between different forms of existence. Another alarm blared through the command network. "Commander," Raj's voice carried urgent warning. "Secondary storm front detected. This one. It's not the Void Dancers. No patterns, no communication attempts. Pure chaos. They have hunters," Paddle realized, her expression hardening. "Predators that follow in their wake, feeding on the reality distortions they leave behind. All Guardian vessels, battle positions. Void Dancers, we need your help. Will you stand with us?" The response came not in words but in action. The first reality storm began to reshape itself, transforming from a force of destruction into a protective barrier. The Void Dancers, having learned a new way in mere moments, prepared to defend alongside their teachers. "This is what humanity has become," Patil announced to both her crews and her astonished alien observers. "Not just warriors who stand against the dark, but teachers who help others find better ways. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't in destroying an enemy, but in turning them into allies." The secondary storm front approached like a wall of unreality, threatening to tear apart everything in its path. But now, humanity's guardian fleet didn't stand alone. The combined forces of Earth's most advanced technology and the Void Dancers' reality-shaping powers prepared to make their stand. All crews, Patil's voice carried the weight of centuries of preparation. Initialize the quantum defense grid. Void Dancer allies, take your positions within the Matrix. Today, we prove that different forms of life can work together to protect those who cannot protect themselves. As the battle for reality itself began, First Officers Rixtel finally understood. Humanity hadn't abandoned the galaxy. They had ascended to become its guardians, working on levels that most species couldn't even comprehend. And now, they were about to demonstrate exactly what that meant. The true test of humanity's Guardian Protocol was about to begin. The price of protection. The void between realities erupted in impossible colors as humanity's Guardian fleet and their newfound Void Dancer allies engaged the cosmic predator. The second storm front wasn't just chaos. It was hunger incarnate, a force that had evolved to consume the quantum wake left by Void Dancer exploration. Multiple breaches detected in sectors 3 through 7. Lieutenant Commander Raj reported, his hands flying across neural interfaces that connected him directly to the Star Guardian's defense systems. "The Predator storm is adapting to our shield frequencies." Commander Patel watched as reality itself began to fray around them. "Redirect power from non-essential systems. Begin emergency evacuation of all frontier posts." Her voice remained steady, but her eyes betrayed the weight of command. Status of the Threll homeworld. Still protected. First Officers Rixtal answered from her station aboard the Eternal Seeker. "But these readings, the storm is targeting your shield network specifically. It's learning. Danger ALERT warning. The Void Dancers communicated through the Prometheus device. Hunter grows stronger. Fees and defense energy. It's using our own power against us," Paddle realized. "Every joule of energy we pour into the shields makes it stronger." She straightened, decision crystallizing in her eyes. "Lieutenant Commander, initialize Protocol 0. Admiral Venthor's scales shifted to alarm patterns. "Protocol 0. The last resort," Raj explained grimly as he input the commands. "We drop all shields, power down every system, and..." He paused, looking to Patel for confirmation. "And we give the Predator storm exactly what it wants," she finished. "Us." The command network erupted with protests from other Guardian vessel captains, but Paddle's voice cut through the chaos. "All Guardian vessels, this is no longer a defensive operation. Plot collision courses with the primary storm front. Void Dancer allies, we need you to protect the Threll homeworld once we're gone." "Confusion, Piroteiste alternative," the Void Dancers transmitted. "Why sacrifice? Existence. Because this is what guardians do, Paddle replied, her voice carrying centuries of human determination. We don't just protect when it's easy. We don't just teach when others are willing to learn. Sometimes protection requires sacrifice. The massive form of the Star Guardian began to move, its engines pulsing with antimatter fire as it led the charge toward the Predator storm. Behind it, hundreds of human vessels fell into formation, each crew knowing exactly what Protocol Zero meant. Commander, Zrixtal's crystalline form vibrated with distress. The energy readings from your ships. You're overloading your quantum cores. The Predator storm feeds on energy, Paddle explained, initiating final sequences across her command interface. So we'll give it more than it can handle. Every Guardian vessel carries a quantum core capable of generating enough power to tear a hole in reality itself. Now, we use them all at once. Admiral Venfor stepped forward, his voice urgent. You'll destroy yourselves. No, Paddle corrected with a sad smile. We'll save everyone else. This is why humanity withdrew from galactic society. Not because we feared what was out there, but because we knew that someday, somewhere, someone would need guardians willing to make the ultimate sacrifice. The Predator storm roared toward them, reality breaking down in its wake. But now, instead of fleeing or fighting, humanity's Guardian fleet accelerated to meet it. All vessels, Paddle's voice carried across the command network one final time. Initialize quantum core overload sequences. Lieutenant Commander Sharma, transmit our final data package to the Galactic Survey Corps. Admiral Venfor, First Officer Zrixtal, tell them what you saw here. Tell them why humanity chose this path. Understanding Gryef honor, the Void Dancers transmitted. We will remember to each others. As the Guardian fleet entered the leading edge of the Predator storm, Paddle's last words echoed across all frequencies. For all those who cannot protect themselves, for all those yet to rise, for all those who need guardians in the dark, this is humanity's gift to the galaxy. The quantum cores detonated as one, and reality itself held its breath. Legacy of the Guardians. The flash of 100 quantum cores detonating simultaneously lit up the void like a new galaxy being born. First Officer Zrixtal's sensors overloaded, her crystalline form resonating with energies that shouldn't exist in normal space. When her instruments finally recovered, the scene before them had transformed completely. Where the Predator storm had raged, there was now nothing. Not empty space, but a perfect sphere of absolute stillness, as if that section of reality had been reset to its original state. The Guardian fleet was gone, their sacrifice carved into the very fabric of space-time. They did it, Admiral Venfor whispered, his scales shifting through patterns of awe and grief. They actually did it. Silence. Reverence, rebirth. The Void Dancers communicated through the remaining Prometheus interfaces, new understanding of sacrifice. Before anyone could respond, a new signal cut through their communications array. The holographic display materialized, showing a young Threll scientist staring at her primitive scanning equipment with wide, compound eyes. This is incredible. Her translated voice bubbled with excitement. The quantum fluctuations we've been tracking. They formed a perfect lattice structure. This could be the key to faster-than-light travel. The Threll would never know how close they had come to extinction. They would never know that the very anomaly they were studying, the aftermath of humanity's sacrifice, would guide them to the stars. And that, Zrixtal realized, was exactly what the Guardians had intended. Admiral, she called, her sensors detecting something new. There's a message, encoded in the quantum structure itself. The message unfolded across their displays, Commander Patel's final gift to the galaxy. To those who find this marker, we are humanity, and we chose to become guardians not because we were the strongest or the wisest or the most advanced. We chose this path because we remembered what it was to be alone in the dark, to face the universe's dangers without protection or guidance. This quantum matrix contains all of our knowledge, our technology, our understanding of what it means to be guardians. We give it freely to any civilization mature enough to find and decode it. Use it wisely. Use it to protect. But most importantly, remember this. True guardianship isn't about power or control. It's about sacrifice. It's about standing between the darkness and those who cannot yet face it. It's about giving everything you are so that others might have the chance to become everything they could be. This is humanity's legacy. This is our gift to the future. Rise well, rise free, rise protected. The Guardian Fleet of Earth. The Void Dancer's final transmission carried a depth of emotion that transcended their alien nature. We will continue their work. We will protect, teach, guide. 3 centuries later, a young Thrall ship captain stood on the observation deck of her vessel, watching her world's first faster-than-light ship prepare for its maiden voyage. Behind her, representatives from a dozen species, including the now peaceful Void Dancers, gathered to witness the event. On the wall, a simple plaque carried words that had become a mantra across the galaxy. In memory of the human Guardian Fleet, who gave everything so others could rise. Their sacrifice taught us that the greatest power isn't in the ability to destroy, but in the willingness to protect. Today, we all stand as guardians. The quantum matrix left behind by humanity had done more than provide technological advancement. It had given the galaxy something far more precious. An example. Species that once competed now cooperated in the great work of protection. Ancient enemies became steadfast allies in the face of cosmic threats. And in the darkness between stars, on the edge of explored space, quantum sensors still detected occasional echoes of guardian vessels, shadows of humanity's sacrifice, eternally standing watch over those yet to rise. They had become more than guardians. They had become legend. They had become hope. They had become exactly what the galaxy needed them to be. End.